Hope everybody had a great trading day today. And what a day it was! Wow, amazing stuff, guys. This week we're doing a series on using social media chatter, basically to look for setups. The day it was to remind us really to look for setups, and then we can dig in and we can look at the chart and see what's going on and see if it makes sense to trade. Right. So really cool stuff, guys. This is basically we've been using the tool ChatterQuant, and they've made a lot of improvements. And if you guys are interested in this and getting a discount on it, check out the links in the description today. But really cool stuff. So anyway, guys, before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market here today. Oh, did I not get this tweeted out? I need to get this tweeted out. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me get this tweeted here. Thought I got that. 1 sec. Here. There. All right, cool. Awesome. So anyway, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at see where we left off in the market today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening, what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we're going to go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, guys. So really, just kind of this is the monthly chart right here on SPX. So big thing is that in September we had a bearish engulfing candle, right? It was kind of ominous, right? Everybody's like saying, "Oh, the top is in. This thing's ready for a bear market correction, etc." And then last month, October, was just like, "Nope, see you later." Completely invalidated the candle like it never happened. And it's not like the SPX hasn't done this before, right? Even in the Corona crash, it was like, "Nope, see ya," right? So bears are going, "Nope, see ya," right? That type of action, right? So we're already pushing up the fresh all-time highs this month. And now we see what happens going into Fed Day tomorrow, right? So that should definitely be an interesting one. We got basically the big thing tomorrow is that they're planning on announcing the taper, right? So that we already kind of know about this, right? So we'll see how it goes. But we're expecting some sort of taper tantrum, maybe, or they just buy the news this time, right? So instead of sell the news, because everybody's expecting it to drop at least a little bit on the taper tantrum. But we may see some volatility tomorrow after 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is the rate announcement. 2:30, right, is the big one, right? We go live in our group in the Discord, and I go live in Zoom. What we like to call Fed Science Theater 3000, right? We basically we pull up the Fed, we go through it, we see what's going on. We also look for volatility moves that we could possibly capitalize on as well. But really fun stuff there. So again, we always have fun in the group, right? So good stuff there. Anyway, daily chart looks like that doji sandwich ended up working its way up. And if we go to the Elliott wave count, it's an very interesting possible count right here, right? So we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't have it fully labeled right here because it could be this really could be kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a throw over, which is almost a textbook throw over of an ending diagonal. So we'll see. It would make sense, right, if we do flush tomorrow, if JPOW gets a little IPS or irritable Powell syndrome, we may actually work our way to the downside, with some sort of authority, and we'll kind of go from there. Otherwise, this could be like we've got labeled right now, the ABC down 1, 2. It could be kind of going. It kind of looks like a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this could be working on wave 3, and then this wave 3 goes up, and the wave just continues forever. This has been a huge move up, guys. I mean, just no doubt. This is, and even the pullback was just kind of nasty, right? Everything else has been just super duper impulsive. I mean, almost a straight line. But pretty cool stuff. So we're definitely going to be tracking that going in tomorrow, especially after 2 o'clock and 2:30, right? So there should be pretty interesting stuff there. After 2 o'clock is the rate announcement. 2:30 is the press conference. So let's stay with the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So it looks like we're kind of flattish right here, down about 3 points so far. Nothing really impulsive or anything like that. So again, this could be just keep an eye on this geometric line right here and see how it goes. It's kind of like a triangular type move here going into tonight. So keep an eye on those levels and see how they hold going into the rest of the evening. We've got a couple of geos below that could end up playing out into tomorrow. So we stayed above that here today, and we stayed above this guy here today, right? So let's stretch those out into tomorrow, and those look pretty good. So other than that, guys, that's where we're tracking going into tomorrow, of course, Fed. So we'll see where we go from there. Anyway, guys, we're continuing our series here this week on using social media chatter. And so particularly with the tool ChatterQuant. So I love this tool, guys. Yesterday we talked about it. I had actually some issues with it recently. I talked to the guys and they helped me fix it and all that stuff. And once I got it back online again, really amazing stuff. That's what I really wanted to talk about it this week. So it's a great group of guys, that put it together. But what they did was they take the confusion out of out of FinTwit, right? And what's the other stock twits and all that stuff, right? So and Reddit, right? So there's so much nonsense that's out there, right? So sometimes it's hard to kind of zoom in and find out what's important, right? Well, these guys have figured out an algorithm to do it, and it's really really cool stuff, right? So today was impressive, right? So today was we talked about FSell yesterday, which is an incredible move that was shot out by these guys. We had this live in our Discord today. We had it live, and I pointed out a lot of stuff that I thought looked interesting, right? So on it. So let's go through. Let's review a couple of those here today. What I'm going to do is we'll take a look at the charts, and we'll go to the ChatterQuant. We'll basically just run through this more. I'll point out a couple of these that cued us in to the potential moves. I think you guys are going to like this stuff. So check this stuff out here. So here we go. Here's the ChatterQuant app, right? So basically, you can look at stocks, trends, and all that stuff. But my favorite area right now, and they're doing so much growth on this stuff too. I mean, really, like they've got they're really making some phenomenal progress on this. Really liking it. Fundamentals, things like that. They're adding charts in here. They're partnered up with TradingView. So really cool stuff there. But anyway, we've got the alert center right here, and I find this to be phenomenal, right? And so a couple of things I've been tracking here is like your Twitter alerts, your Reddit alerts, stuff like that. But really the big ones that I'm enjoying here are the unusual discussion volume and the momentum alert. Now, unusual pennies is pretty cool too. That's kind of mid cap, lower cap type stuff. If you guys like those names, I like this one because it includes the bigger cap names too. Because we love trading names like Nvidia, Apple, and stuff like that. So I do like to know if there's some unusual stuff there. But if I really wanted to, I can kind of go back to the unusual pennies. But I don't find that I'm overloaded with alerts, which is nice. A lot of times if you guys go with anybody who looks at stuff like Cheddar or Flow out, like you start tracking option flow, there's just so much flow, right? And eventually you get numb to it. You're like, I think that was good, or But what I like about here, it kind of consolidates. You get like 8, 9, 10, maybe 20 per day, but they're really easy to sort through. And I like this, right? So it basically starts off early, right? So again, FOMC. That's probably just reading about the FOMC announcement, as far as I know. It's pretty cool stuff there. But a couple things came in this morning. There's some discussions about earnings, right? So you got CRSR, right? So that popped up this morning. We'll take a quick look at that one. So CRSR, again, these were earnings names, right? So they're, basically you could add it to your 15 orb radar and see if you get a breakout. Here they broke out over the pre-market highs and the prior day highs, right? For a quick little move, if you like for a quick trade, that type of thing. But nothing really. That's not really the type of stuff we're looking for. We're looking for the intraday stuff where stuff is really chattering, or they're really talking about, the social media names out there, or they're talking about like some names on social media, right? So it's pretty cool stuff there, right? So we had some earnings stuff here going into this morning, and then one thing I would like to see revised those if they put maybe like an east, like a time zone here instead of 10 hours back. Sometimes you go back, you're like, I want to research this one and see what it did. But I'll talk to them about that and see if they could update that as well. And maybe there is a way to expand it. But anyway, so kind of going into this morning, I thought this was really cool. This was a car alerted pretty early this morning, right? So CAR. This was epic, and I know it's hard to remember because everybody's thinking about BBBY tonight, which was pretty epic as well. And we pointed this out at the close with multiple lotto ideas for our group once we saw the chatter here, and you guys are going to love this. So, but let's go to CAR. And what happened with CAR this morning? So this is a tricky name, of course, right? So this is epic with shares, but this is not a typically traded stock. This thing went from $180 for whatever reason it's there to $545 today. This thing was epic, right? So I saw the chatter come through there this morning on the ChatterQuant. I was like, let's take a look at it and see what it was. And I was like, this thing's pretty epic, and it already halted, I think, like one time. So we pointed out here, and we pointed out in the public Twitter for you guys too to track, and really ended up giving a phenomenal move after this. We ended up, because the options were going crazy, we ended up doing a debit spread on this, debit call spread, which ended up, I think, being about a double on that. So it ended up being a really good move. But if you got involved with shares on this thing, $320 to $540 in 30 minutes. Pretty epic stuff there on CAR today. And this was really exciting, right? So it got a lot of the kind of car names out there going and all that stuff, and it just was fun. Really cool stuff, right? So we found that here today using this, right? There's a couple of names that obviously hurts, like we said, that got active right here. This was an over-the-counter name here that kind of got going. There was a couple other names that popped open today, like Open was interesting. BB started getting some action early a little bit. We looked at all these charts, like for instance, NEO, we looked at it. We saw the alert on that today. Which was pretty interesting, right? So if you go here, but we didn't trade it, right? So that's the big thing, is just because you see chatter on it doesn't mean there's a setup, right? And so I did have an alert on this on my own, right? So one of the things we look at is, like breakouts, things like that. So I was looking for some strength or some major weakness, right? But all we had is like one candle or whatever to the downside, so it wasn't really that major. You probably could have traded it to the downside here out of this triangle, but we kind of took our eyes off of it at the time. Let's take another look here and see. So let's see what else we had here today. Nikola was interesting, but this was a little bit late. Now it's not ChatterQuant's fault, right? It's just when social media starts talking about it, right? So Nikola popped up today, right? And we looked at it, and it was just like, okay, it's Nikola. I never like trading this name long anyway, because what their CEO isn't he in like hiding from like, isn't there a manhunt out for him? Anyway, the chatter came about here. So it ended up working its way up, but this is honestly a shortable name. So you can actually use that as a tool and be like, wait a second, everybody's talking about Nikola and it's popping for really no reason. That could give a nice short opportunity. Okay, so pretty cool stuff there. Nvidia popped up a little bit right here. AMC was interesting, right? So a couple of names here. But a couple ones I liked here. Some NVAX. This is a big one, guys, today. We actually pointed this out in our group as an overnight swing idea going into today. And it ended up working phenomenally, right? Because we got some positive news at the open. We got a great gap. I think these went from like $11 to like $18. You could have done the debit spreads on it, but overnights, sometimes we like to look at the options as long as there's some moves on that. So we pointed this out to our group yesterday at the close, and we ended up getting a nice gap up on here. What I like is the chatter started coming in on this one too. Now we were already bullish on it, right? And so this gave a beautiful move here at the end of the day and ended up finished with an amazing daily candle and got all the way to our initial target, which was the bow tie up here, the 50-day moving average, and the 200-day, right? So pretty cool stuff there. And I'm going to finish this up here tonight, guys. You can see that you get some amazing stuff. And really the key of it is, not just because there's somebody's talking about it, just because we get some chatter on it, doesn't mean that you just jump in it. You got to look at the chart and see what's going on. And that's the really cool part about our group is that we talk about it, right? And we show the charts and we look at it and see if it makes sense. Sava was an interesting one. We pointed that one out. OCGN. This was a big one today, too. We actually shorted this one. I saw that once this came out here today, this gave a really nice move. The OCGN, the chatter came out, and it was you could tell it was moving. There was true momentum on this one, and you can see here that it was a momentum tracker. So that gave a quick short opportunity on OCGN, and another one of our members ended up doing really well on that too. So good stuff there. Anyway, guys, I want to finish this off here tonight. There's a lot of other cool names in here, but what I really liked was this at the end of the day, BBBY. Now, why did I like BBBY? So a couple of reasons. So BBBY came out. This was before, right? It started really getting hot. And I know it's incredible here after hours. I was hoping to hide that a little bit. But if you guys saw in my public Twitter, I said, wow, BBBY is strong. All right. So this was, some massive volume was coming here. A lot more came in at the end of the day. And I just like this, right? So we were tracking a lot of the social media names yesterday, right? So GME had a pretty nice day yesterday, but really kind of no follow through today. BB. Right, that one had a nice green day yesterday, kind of a choppy day, today, right? So a lot of them were just kind of chopping around, but BBB, Clove was another one, CLOV, really no action on that, but BBBY, look at the difference between all these charts, right? So all the meme names were looking nice yesterday, including BBBY with increasing volume over the ADMA, but today, it was looking like it wanted to break out of this area right here, right? So the volume was huge. It wasn't even that big when I originally tweeted out. And this was epic, right? So a really nice move there. So we put out a bunch of lottos in the group today, and members got involved in that. Some folks took shares, and for some folks, this is going to be like one of the best trades, right? This is kind of one of those trades, like this is trading, right? So again, just don't confuse it with this happens all the time. But anyway, that chatter really helped, got us involved in it, got us looking at the chart, and got us looking at the posting the trades on those, right? So really cool stuff there. So this is looking good here so far. Let's see how it holds up going into the evening and where we go from there. So cool stuff, guys. Anyway, guys, that's ChatterQuant. I love it. So this is just day one here of testing it with you guys here this week. So really cool stuff there. If you guys are interested in checking out the software, definitely check out the pro version. I've got a link here in the description. If you go to the description here, go pro with ChatterQuant, right? So there's a really cool link there, and you guys will get a coupon and a nice discount on it too. It's already actually pretty reasonably priced, so cool stuff there. Anyway, guys, good stuff. So at this point now, we'll take a look at more stuff tomorrow. We'll see if anything sets up for us, and you guys can see that there. In the meantime, let's take a look at questions and chart requests, and then we'll try to get through as many as we can, try to wrap up as early as possible, so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. But what a beautiful daily chart there on BBBY. So good stuff there, and I love BBBY. It sounds sounds like the robot from Buck Rogers. So anyway, so good stuff there. Otas sending a few via Twitter. So Otas, hope you're doing good out there. So you got Coin on the radar. So Coin's interesting. It made a little bit of a push here today. It gave us, we traded this intro, we pointed this out intraday to our group. We like this geometric line pre-market, and we started to push through here with volume, and that gave a nice day trade. Now, this is a tough name to day trade right now because it's heading into earnings, and the premiums are pretty high, but members traded this well with debit spreads, so that was a really good mover there. Kind of a doji right now, but see if it takes the doji sandwich up and maybe makes it an earnings run, but it's already had a pretty epic run here so far. So good stuff there. Of course, you got Snow on the radar. This thing's just been grinding its way up the ADMA. Again, this is great for swinging with debit spreads, so you don't get chopped up in your options. LCID, gap down here today, was looking a little bit rough there, but hammer over the ADMA, so let's see if that can hold here going into tomorrow. So good stuff there. And Shirley, sending a few here too. Give me 1 second. Let me just grab a sip of tea. So good stuff there. So Shirley's got Riot on the radar. I like Riot. I think this is a beautiful chart. I like the Bitcoin sector. This is my favorite name out of those. So let's see how that goes going in tomorrow. NVAX we already talked about. Watch your resistance there at the 200-day moving average. This is an overnight idea that we pointed out yesterday to our group. Cisco. I like this candle too. I think it's beautiful. Nice close over kind of like a cup and handle-ish type pattern right here. Right, so you kind of got your cup, right, handle, breakout, right, over the and the 50-day moving average turns as served as the brim line on that one. So nice move there, and we got over the cloud here on Cisco. So nice move. Let's see if we get a fall through the upside if it breaks over those highs. AMD again tagged fresh all-time highs today, so it looks okay. Let's see if we can continue to go on that one. It gave us a couple opportunities at the open today. And then Chegg. Member asked about this one this morning, and what I really, really liked about this one is they asked if this thing they were going to go for the dip buy on this. And I don't think we've actually done a video on this, so check this out. Usually on the names that they don't buy the dip, you start to see this. Right, so this obviously was down. The CEOs, earnings were blah, and he's saying the education sector is blah, and that's not really good. But what you really start to see is this sort of cascade down pre-market, right? Like this, you start to see, okay, it's losing some pre-market pivots. Oh, it's dropping into the open. This is kind of one of those ones that you can kind of market in at the open and just market short. And this ended up giving a really epic move here, guys. It went from 40 to 34, and I think we pointed this one out in the bubble report this morning for some key levels on this. If not, it's okay because we discussed it in our group this morning. But again, that gave a really, really nice downside move today, and this is looking really, really weak. I don't think anyone wants to be in a name like this with this candle, right? In the meantime, just wait till let's see if it can test the gap, in the next couple weeks or so if it decides to consolidate. But who knows? I mean, this is kind of like a funky company. I could see this thing being like a penny stock if it really wanted to. So pretty cool stuff there. On Chegg. Good find there. Good. All right, Shirley. Well, good stuff. Really appreciate it. And then Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Here you got PayPal on the radar. So PayPal, guys, it undershot that 230 level. It's close. I mean, it may very well be close to wanting to reverse, right? But it may wait until earnings, right? So it kind of stinks, to see how it goes here. But it is getting beaten up. There is a lot of volume right here. It's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red days in a row, right? And just nasty, right? So let's see if they can get things reversed on this. So maybe wait for a nice green candle, right? Piton had a little bit of news today, right? Kind of broke down right here, held these recent lows here so far. Again, another one with earnings coming up pretty soon. So see how this holds. Otherwise, it could be like a little bit of a bear flag, right? So cool stuff there. Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate it. J Moss, what's going on? Good to see you. Good evening. AMD on the radar. Again, beautiful candle today. Nice. Let's see if we get some follow through on that going in tomorrow. Coles, again, guys, these retail names were really strong yesterday. They opened up kind of inside days, but once they got over those highs from the prior day, they really started to get moving. Then FCX. Whew. I would say at this point now we were looking at the flag potential, but this is actually kind of looking like a diamond formation now. Right, so basically the same thing, but just see if we can break out one way or the other. So on FCX could be interesting. Great find on that one. And options rock. Send a few in via Twitter. Let's take a look here. Hope you're doing great out there. JYNT back down to the ADMA right here. Almost an evening star reversal type setup, but not quite. See how it holds the ADMA and ABMD. Hammerish type move here again off of the ADMA. Some good volume coming to this one after earnings. So we'll see where we go from there. Michael Phillips, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You got BBBY on the radar. Oh my goodness, this thing's going to be epic tomorrow. This thing's gapping all the way up to, hopefully they keep on piling into this. So this is gapping up to the 200-day moving average. I mean, it's got some work to do if it wants to get to all-time highs, but it could move up to, if it wanted to like the 30 level. If it holds the 30 level, right, look for 31, 32-ish. So this could be interesting there. But right to the 200-day movement, incredible, incredible move. I love look at that nice little smiley face right there. You gotta love it. So good stuff on BBBY. SKT, woo! Now that's a candle there too. Look at Tanger. Yeah, real estate was strong today. Big move on that here today with the REITs. Good stuff there on, and this is obviously the factory outlet stuff, but cool stuff there on the SKT. Fun. We pointed this out in the group too. DWAC was looking interesting, so I like the close over the ADMA on this one. Let's see if this gets any follow to the upside. Chegg we looked at just nasty. Oof. Right. So I think I feel confident holding into earnings. Oof. Workhorse. Let's take a look. Decent move here on this one today. Nikola we talked about a little bit earlier, but let's see if Workhorse can actually get going here eventually. SQM. Oh, wow. Sociedad Química y Minera. Awesome. Yeah, big move up there. Again, fresh highs on this one. Incredible, incredible candle on that one. Great. Love it. That's the candle we want on our birthday cake. So good stuff there. Robbie, what's going on? Going to see you got SQ on the radar. Oh, not SQNS. Goodness gracious. SQ. Kind of broke down that prior support level, lost support, right? So prior support. So nasty candle with increased volume. I don't know. Maybe it wants to fill this gap down here and test the 200-day, right? So looking pretty nasty. You got earnings coming up on this one too. Again, none of these names very few names, a lot of names have beaten on earnings. A lot of names have not given nice earnings runs, right? So we haven't really seen that very much. But anyway, good stuff there. Appreciate it, Robbie. Jameis, what's going on? Good to see you got Amazon on the radar. So Amazon was great, guys. This was one we pointed out. There was a short opportunity on Amazon today from the 3,300 level from here to the 3285. Right, so this ended up being a pretty cool move right here on Amazon. Then it held this level really nicely. Then it put in a higher high, higher low, or higher low, or higher low, and then just kind of finished itself up for the rest of the day. Very, very cool move on Amazon today. I like the down move and the subsequent up move on it. So, but Doji out of the 200-day moving average, under the 80-day, the 50-day, and the 200-day. Not really a bullish area right here. We're still kind of bullish overall. It still could be kind of a 1-2, 1-2, big ABC running flat down, and then we'll see if this thing is ready, right, to start maybe an epic impulsive wave up. It might not be until after OPEX like it did last time. So something to keep an eye on there. It might not be until like after the 19th of November. So we'll still keep that. It still gives good day trades, so we'll see what it does there. Anyway, good stuff. Adriana, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So you got S-Bucks on the radar. Whoa, S-Bucks. I think we talked about this yesterday as being a potential move to fill this gap. What an epic reversal off of this one, off of that lower shadow. So all the way back up to the 80-man S-Bucks. You don't see a chart like that too often, but that S-Bucks will move if it wants to. Look at that. Pretty cool stuff. And then it looks like it got a little bit of a, it's zing on today, right? So snap under the 80-MA, not looking too good down here. I'm not saying it's going to flush or anything like that, but it might just be consolidating, right? So, this is probably the markdown, and this is probably just an accumulation period, right? So just give it some time and then see if it gets any moves. So pretty cool stuff there. And what else we got? Good. Yeah, my pleasure. And look, Sarah, what's going on? Good to see you. You got Zoom on the radar. Zoom's interesting, right? So it had a nice candle yesterday over the 80-MA. It got to the 50-day moving average, right? We put an alert on here if we could get through these pivots here today, and just didn't do it, right? So again, that was about as bullish as it got in the morning today. So it had some unusual call activity, but we'll see. It's holding the 80-MA right now, so we'll see what it does going into tomorrow. I think we should still keep it on the radar. So good stuff there. And Samara, what's going on? CMG. Gosh, I have no idea how this name is staying up. I really don't. Has anybody been to a Chipotle recently? We went recently, and we went recently, and you can't even get food there, right? We went there, and the people were rude, and they're like, I was like, "Do you guys have any food?" And they're like, "You got to order it online." I was like, "Okay, I got to order it online." I'm just not doing that. I probably could have sat there and just ordered it from my phone or something. I was like, we'll go somewhere else. So I really have no idea how they're still hanging out here. But look at this channel right here. We're basically at the top of that. So see if that breaks down there on CMG. BIIB, I'm pretty much long-term bearish on this, at least until things turn around. BIIB, interesting, right? Nice volume here today. Held to 80 MA. So let's see if that gets going. OTLY. OTOI, rough move down off of the 80 man. I know everybody was all hyped up about this one that they make oat milk and all that stuff, but it's still working its way down. Again, wait for a strong handle. You got a strong handle right here, got a little bit of upside follow through, and that was about strong handle right here, a little upside follow through. No strength here yet. Let's look for some strength on this one to try to get out of this blah. So good stuff there, and then Wish. Again, Wish is just no go right here, right? Yesterday's candle was blah, couldn't even get over yesterday's highs. So we got that going on. M King, what's going on? You swung some BBBY. Yeah, so that, like we just looked at it. I mean, it's like we're coming to this area right here, right? It depends where we open. The big things tomorrow that we need to look at with this are your highs, right? So you definitely got to get over 32 to get going. But check out your pre-market pivot lows too and see how those hold, right? So that'll give you some clues. Some of us use the 15 orb. Just wait till the first 15 minutes are done. Some use the 30 orb. Wait till that's done. But it is gapping up into some resistance and selling pressure. So yeah, I mean, if you're trading weeklies right here, if it were me, I mean, we've got lottos going into tomorrow. We're going to sell those tomorrow. I mean, there's no sense in going for a gap and go. It's pretty much a miracle trade on this one, right? So for it to do this much, we were bullish on it to the 50-day moving average. So we got the 20 call spreads on this one, right? And then like the 18 call spreads to get to the gap window, right? I know it looks crazy here, but when you just look at the chart, you're like, okay, well, could this thing go next, right? So 18, 20, and then they'll see where we go from there. So anything above and beyond that, guys, I mean, it's just don't look a gift horse in the mouth is one thing I always say. So anyway, so good stuff there. Definitely a gift horse there, so cool stuff. The Nast, what's going on? DOCN, let's take a look and see what you got. So yeah, nasty close there below the 80 man on that one. EST, nasty red candle yesterday. It's not like they didn't prepare you for it. Here's that hanging man on the ESTC playing out there to the 80 man downside. And PD checking the bottom of that triangle right there. So pretty interesting stuff there. And then Nunix, the dog food company, inside day here today after yesterday's close over the 80 man. It looks like it could be interesting, so definitely want to keep an eye on there. JMIA, we looked at a little bit inside day 2. Could be a gap, could be a jack in the box. Snap, not looking good. Twilio, I'd wait for, again, in that one, same too, I'd wait for like some sort of strength on it. Twilio, they're trying, they've got a couple upgrades and all that stuff after the gap down. Just see how it handles that gap window. But good stuff there. Tiger, what's going on? You got XPOF on the radar. Okay, we'll give it a little breakout. The other day kind of ran out of steam here today. That's why we like to raise stops, right? So Yelp, let's take a look. Still contained within that triangle range. Let's take a look. You got Roku. Let's take a look. Roku, the inside day under the 80MA pins. Just as bad as Snap right here. Wait for earnings on that one. MQ. Choppy, but getting interesting. ONDS. Really, really tight in there, right? But it's holding the 50-day moving average. Again, wait for some strength on that one. And John Turner, what's going on? Irobot. Let's take a look. Yeah, possible pause day here today, going into tomorrow. ICPT getting really, really tight. So again, you can kind of see a pretty nice triangle here. Right, so once you see that, right, you can kind of pull back and just look, is it a wave B or is it a wave, is it a wave 4, right? So, tough call on that one, right? So, so we'll see. It could be, A, B, triangle, C, down. It's got earnings coming up, so let's see how that goes. FTCH, let's take a look. Closing under the 80 man, the 50-day moving average, a little bit of caution there. Big C. Under the 80 MA and the 50-day moving average, the same thing. We talked about it yesterday, right? We're like, as long as it's below these moving averages, it's tough to be, bullish till you show some strength, right? SSYS, inside day. BKKT, this got some chatter today, but no real movement on the chart. And then Tree. Tree down, gap down here today below the 80 MA, not looking so good. So, so we got that there. So John Turner, any advice on the XPOF options? Tough spreads, but looks good on the monthly with that volume. Let's take a look at XPOF. So XPOF on the options, let me pull this up here in the other window. Give me 1 second here. So XPOF, this thing is are there weeklies on that? This just trades monthlies. So if you really, really like it, and there's really no volume on it here, guys. There's no volume. Honestly, I wouldn't even touch this thing. I know it looks good, but this is one of those, there's just no, I mean, the Decembers don't even have any volume on it. The Novembers have, the only thing you have is 205 open interest on the 20s, and that's it. I wouldn't even touch this thing, honestly. I mean, if the chart looks good, it is what it is. But if you trade options and you can't trade it, don't even take it off the list, right? So, I mean, if you want to play with shares, maybe, but see how it goes. But yeah, just options is blah on this one. You don't want to be, there's no liquidity, right? So you basically, it's a lotto no matter how you look at it, right? Because you can't get out, right? So that type of thing. So, and then ICPT as a huge sports interest on ICPT. Let's take a look. ICPT. Intercept Pharmaceuticals. Yeah, interesting. I mean, really tight range right here. Let's see what they do coming into earnings. Earnings are what time tomorrow? before the market. So let's see how that goes going into that. So it could be interesting. Yeah, let's see what goes on that. And if it gaps above these range right here, depending where it gaps, 200-day moving average might be a target for it. So it could be good there too. Anyway, guys, good stuff. Awesome chart requests tonight and questions. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. What a fun day today using the ChatterQuant tool. If you guys are interested in checking it out, links in the description. Get you a coupon on it. And it's really reasonably priced. Honestly, based on all the trade setups that we saw today, it's worth it's worth a lot more than they're asking. So really really cool stuff there. But check it out. Get the coupon, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, right here on YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, stay healthy out there. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you guys soon.